Deception by Granger's staff was reportedly so disgusting and corrupt as they hid Kay Granger's decline. Social media posts like this one, whoever wrote this is thanking Granger's staff and interns. It's just beyond the pale. Shouldn't these staffers be identified and be barred from ever serving in government again, Congresswoman?
Well, this story actually astounds me. To be honest, I didn't even know that she was missing. And it's because there was so many of us in the chamber at one time that you kind of don't really keep track of who's coming in, coming out. But it was shocking to me that this individual, our Congresswoman colleague, did not vote since July. That in itself, I think, is very problematic. And if she was collecting a paycheck, I think that money needs to be returned to the Treasury for sure. And I feel sad for her situation and that she has a cognitive decline, but really to leave your constituents without representation for 6 months and to potentially, if she did, collect a paycheck at the same time is wrong. And yes, the staff has been defrauding the public by putting up those types of posts, acting as if everything was okay. And it really is, I think, outrageous, and it needs to be dealt with by the leadership. And it also raises the question on whether we need some type of, age limit. Maybe there is an age limit that is needed, so we don't have these elder individuals who are not mentally or physically fit to be able to do their jobs, which is very demanding. To be a member of Congress, to not just represent and make tough decisions on behalf of your constituents, but the travel and we're very active. I mean, we have to travel constantly, whether it's to and from Washington or around our district, or in some cases to other countries. And so I don't think you're getting the best representation if you don't have somebody who's capable of doing the job. Yeah,
and term limits for elected officials, plus term limits for the staff. That is part of what they call permanent Washington, which in this case, as you adequately pointed out, I couldn't have phrased it better, defrauded the people in the 12th Congressional District in Texas. I want to turn to your state if I can. Within hours of 2 people being stabbed to death on the subway, a Guatemalan illegal alien is accused of setting a sleeping woman on fire on that train. And right before the attack, Governor Kathy Hochul tried to take a victory lap, believe it or not, on subway safety, along with selfies with passengers. Congresswoman, tone deafness from the governor doesn't appear to cover what she is overseeing there. I mean, this is absolutely insane, is it not?
I mean, and this is a governor who often proves to be tone deaf, but this actually takes the cake. I mean, to post this image of you taking selfies like you're a tourist from Buffalo on the subway system, trying to show the public that everything's fine, there's nothing to see here on our subway system, everybody's safe. And it was literally hours after this poor young woman was set on fire and killed by an illegal immigrant. And then the day before, there were 2 people stabbed, one fatally, on another train in Queens. And also the day before, there were 2 people shot on a subway platform in New York City. So this governor is just so out of touch with what everyday New Yorkers are facing. And yet she wants to now add a congestion tax to force people to ride the subways when they don't feel safe. And so I would just say that the governor really needs to get her state under control. She needs to start putting people who are criminals behind bars. And to think about this poor young woman sleeping on a train while our mayor is giving free hotel rooms to illegal immigrants from around the world. Over 200 shelters plopped up across our city for free living and shelter and food and everything else for people who are in this country illegally, while that poor woman was on the train sleeping a few days before Christmas.
Yeah, and if this government hadn't allowed massive, uncontrolled illegal immigration to this country, then this death never would have happened. On X, you were marking the stopgap funding bill passing. Quote, it was a frustrating week, but in the end, we rejected a big, bad backroom deal and just got what was needed to keep the government running until President Trump is sworn in, you wrote. You know, Congresswoman, for the last 27 years, Congress has not done a budget. That's led to, as you know, $36 trillion in debt. The recent massive overspending has fueled government-caused inflation, harming every American. Every year, leadership of both parties refuses to work on getting those 12 appropriation bills done, and all the members just kind of keep quiet. Will you and your colleagues now commit to calling out your leadership in the summer if they don't get back to regular order?
Well, we've been saying for quite some time that we want to pass 12 individual appropriation bills. This year, we were successful in getting 8 of those passed, but we have the problem where the Senate doesn't pass any. Maybe things will change. Hopefully they will, with the Republicans taking control and the new trifecta we will have in January. But that has been part of the challenge. If we pass 8 and we can't get the Senate to move on anything, you can't obviously negotiate those budget bills. But I agree with you. There is really a hunger from the members, rank and file members in the Republican Party, to get an actual budget done. And not only that, but to find significant cost savings, to cut out the waste, the abuse, and the fraud that's been taking place too long. The fact that programs that haven't even been reapproved are being still funded, and the amount of money that is going into so much wasteful spending. I mean, the other day I pointed out how we're spending millions of dollars on these inhumane, unnecessary, cruel animal tests, including transgender testing on animals. I mean, it's just ludicrous. We've had a very good first meeting with Doge, with Vivek Ramaswamy and Elon Musk. We've started to identify what we've found over the last couple of years. And I think that's a great starting point to get our fiscal house in order. And I think there's a real commitment from the Congress to do that.
Yeah, and I hope you guys in the Republican Party in the House get some good leadership who will do the 12 appropriation bills. And if you have, if it's a Democrat-controlled Senate, just put them over there. And if they want to sit on it, it's going to be their fault. Everybody knows that Democrats are lazy and don't like to work for a living. So, I mean, seriously, it'll be on them. At least the Republicans will have done their work. Congresswoman Nicole Malliotakis, thank you very much. A Merry Christmas to you and your family, lady. Straight ahead.